makes you kind of wonder, is it like is this, I guess, purposely done, or the Secret Service just that inept at what they're doing nowadays? I mean, it, it's crazy to fathom that just a couple months or whatever it was, when he was first.
33 days ago, I think
Yeah,
is what it was. Yeah.
yeah, 30 something days, and they're back at it again with
Right.
no better protection, apparently.
And
I,
look, hats off. If I could say hats off to that Secret Service agent that spotted that. I mean, just a muzzle sticking through a fence, and
yeah,
I know that's what they were saying, right? Like agent walks up, a Secret Service agent walks a couple of holes at a time before he plays,
yeah,
and for that to happen, I mean, hats off to that guy. Uh, that did that. I just that it's
yeah.
remarkable,
It's just
and
a
it, it,
shame.
it shows the training that they go through and what they're looking for. I mean, their heads must be on a swivel at all times, but uh,
Well,
totally incredible, man.
the problem is, though, it's always after the fact. You know what I mean? Not that he got off a
Yeah,
shot, but
right.
to me, he should have never even been where he was had they been
No,
really doing their job. You know what I
right.
mean? It's kind of
And
like
do
these.
you think that's from a lack of protection?
That's my thing. Are they just not taking this that serious, or is this a bigger? Is there something bigger going on with this? You
Yes.
know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what makes everybody start. They want you to trust the process and trust the government and believe in what they're telling you. But then when you see this shit, just a month apart, it's like,
Yeah.
how do you trust any of it? And how do you not go down these conspiracy theory holes? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's just another rabbit hole now that we'll be chasing and trying to figure out what, why, when, who, whatever. It's
Yeah. And
crazy.
why not when they won't
Yeah.
tell us anything?
Yeah. I
You know,
agree with you 100%.
but
You
because
know?
they said there was just a small group of people that knew Trump was going to be playing golf.
Ah,
So then that brings up the question of, was somebody else involved in this, as
right.
far as that's on his quote unquote team? Or was it just as simple as this guy had been scoping out Trump for a while and knew that he plays golf a lot there, and he just kind of
Yeah.
figured that schedule out, But man, it brings up some questions, dude.
Dude, it does. It really does that how they can infiltrate this man's like you just said, his schedule and even get in that position. I hope it opens some eyes to say, whatever this man needs for the rest of this 50 something days and then going forward too, even if he wins or loses, that he'll have the protection that he needs.
Yeah, it's just a shame because it seems like they're not going to be happy until the job is done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? At the way things are
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah.
just assuming the worst, that this is some sort of, plot that you hear people,
Right.
talk about when you start going down these conspiracy rabbit holes. But man, it sure does make you wonder, man. You hate to go that
Um,
far into it, but God,
yeah.
damn.
I mean, I can just hear it. I haven't seen anything yet posted on the left, as radical and as crazy as they can be. That, of course, even with the first one 30 something days ago, you read stuff that it was a big setup, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And then here we are, that will be coming out, just another big setup to try to uh, bolster his pitiful debate and trying to gain more confidence with his voters. And I don't know, I don't believe any of that at all, but
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
you know
Oh yeah,
I just
that's what it'll all be. He set the guy up, or he knew,
absolutely, yeah,
he paid
yeah,
the guy
because
to
he
be.
because he was so dismal in his debate
Yeah,
that this will be a way I can make a rebound now. And people, I don't
yeah.
believe any of it, but
I don't know. I just don't see how you get, honestly, within a mile of
you would think,
someone,
you would think,
former
like
president.
him of his stature, right?
Yeah, when it's
Yeah,
already happened once. I mean, it's not like it's just not on their mind because it hasn't happened in so long that they just kind of get complacent. I mean, they
right.
just tried to kill him a month ago,
33 days ago. Yeah,
and then
33 days ago.
yeah, and now they can't even do a proper sweep of the perimeter.
No,
It's crazy.
it's
And the guy
it
was
is
apparently,
crazy.
and he was parked close enough to when they started shooting at him to get up, run, get in his car before he can be apprehended and take off. You know what I mean?
Right.
So his car was there, he was there, and I'm with you. The agent that spotted that, I mean, that was pretty good.
Yes,
Got
absolutely.
to
But look, what you think the answer is? I mean, it seems like that the Secret Service, which of course is probably in control being controlled by, of course, the Democrats and the Biden administration,
Yeah.
you would think with the swipe of a pen, right? Or just a phone call being like, give this man anything that he needs to
Yeah.
get through this. I mean, am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
You
and I
know?
was, listening to the press conference that, the sheriff and all was given, and he blew it off as far as this is not a sitting president. So had it been a sitting president, basically
Right.
they would have done their job better. But you still have Secret Service out there. So it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter who it is. When you have Secret Service, they're supposed to be doing the job that Secret Service would do. You know what I mean?
So does that mean that Obama gets left less security than, or Clinton or Bush? Do they get less security than what Biden is getting at this present time? I mean, that would be a question I would ask.
I guarantee not. Or at
Oh, well,
least
absolutely.
they
Yeah,
may have less
absolutely.
agents, but I guarantee you the job is getting done as far as everywhere they go. They make
Right.
sure there's no threat within a certain radius. Whatever that radius is, they're
Hmm.
doing that. You know what I mean? And for some reason, they're just not doing that for Trump. And I mean, you could
Yes.
chalk it up to, just incompetence, or
Right.
you could take it to a little higher level there and say, man, somebody's allowing this shit to happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it's incompetence because I do believe the Secret Service is very powerful, very structured, very trained. Uh, all of those parameters there, but it almost makes you believe that it's coming from another source, that it's, put that by the wayside or whatever it might
Yeah.
be. You know?
Yeah. And it's, like you said, man, they used to not be this incompetent. So if we're blaming
Right.
it on that, then something's changed. And is it this DEI shit? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That might have something to do with it. Yeah.
Because I know
Yeah.
they were saying some of those the agents on the last one, they weren't trained to be doing what they were doing. Some of
Yeah.
them failed the test. You know what I mean? So if
How you
that
like
don't
that?
tell you now, are they going through all of that just to get Trump? I don't know. But whatever
Yeah.
the purpose is, it's
It
not
sure seems like it.
right. But either
You know?
way, it's not being done right. And for them not to get to the bottom of this, after this shit just happened a month ago, man, it's ridiculous, man. But I
Yeah.
want to say, man, they've already released the shooter, Ryan Ruth or something like that.
Yeah.
Of course, Facebook, as soon as this shit broke, scrubbed his
Everything
existence
on it.
off of Facebook. Yeah, it's still up on X, his account and all.
Yeah.
But Zuckerberg, they got on that shit fast for some reason, and
Huh.
they actually got videos out there of it happening in real time. Like you see his account on
Yeah.
Facebook, and then when you refresh, it's gone. Boom. You know what I mean? That quick. It's like, man.
Wow.
So I don't know why. I don't know why
So who
Facebook.
was in touch with Facebook? I mean, I'm sure Facebook, or they couldn't have been monitoring it that close. So was it inside saying, "Hey, Zuckerberg, you got to scrap this, or you got to erase this,"
Oh,
or
and I'm
yeah,
saying instant. I mean, maybe it was a couple of hours. So whoever's
right?
controlling that
Ah,
behind the
that's true.
scenes at Facebook,
Yeah,
but either way, why would you do that? There's no need to
yeah,
get rid of
right.
the damn social media. You know
No,
what I mean? Because X didn't do it, so it wasn't like it was something that the government, said you have to do because we've got an investigation that you're going to hinder. It just they
right.
decide to do it on their own for some reason.
Yeah,
But
supposedly he's been arrested, this guy, multiple times from what little bit
yeah,
read into it,
yeah,
so I don't think this is his first hurrah, but
no,
you know. But
no.
I was asking my wife about it, and I said, "What kind of charges do you think this guy is facing?" I mean, he never took a shot at the president. The president was what, 300 to 500 yards away.
Good
I
point.
mean, is yeah, what kind of charges is this guy going to face? I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
trespassing, I'm sure. I mean, but that's really minimal for what we're dealing with
yeah.
right here.
I guess it all depends on what he admits when they're
Right.
investigating him. And
Yeah.
I'm not I don't know Florida's laws, but I would assume they're a pro, gun state. Like, in other words, can he even if he can just possess that gun out in the open like we can
Right.
here in
Yes. I
Louisiana,
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what
then
Florida
I'm
law
with you.
is.
Like what actually do they charge him with? Unless he
Right.
admits that, yeah, I was there to shoot, Trump.
Right. To
But
take
yeah, I
him
mean,
out.
technically, yeah, he never did get a shot off. So
Yeah.
that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good point.
It is. It's a good question.
Did you see
But yeah,
what
going forward, what does Trump and his administration do?
dude, I look,
Does he go hire outside sources, mercenaries or something to protect him? And
yeah, and then it's like, what does this show to other countries that are potential enemies of ours on how easy it is to get to him? You know what I
absolutely,
mean?
he's
It's
vulnerable.
like,
Yeah.
it's like, what is that? What kind of message are we sending to these people across the globe?
You know.
I mean, you got these two, especially the case with the 20-year-old. You know, you got this clown that was able to get on the roof and damn near kill him. Then you got this guy who, as of right now, looks like he's just a lone wolf. So you got
Yeah.
one guy in both instances that are able to do this. Well, what if it's a group? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I heard them. They were
Exactly.
talking about that earlier on the news. I mean, it was a good point. You know, what if it's a team of trained people?
Yes.
You know, not just some rogue idiots. If that's what this is, you know, it's something, man. And I don't know how, if you're Trump, how do you even continue doing this shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, as
Exactly.
far as the rallies, I mean, I know he's not going to give up trying to win the presidency, but damn, he's just out and about living his life, and he'll continue to do it. That's just how he is. It's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
And sometimes I wonder if this is the whole motive to all of this. Because look, I do believe it's from a higher source that's trying this. I just, I don't know. I don't know who wakes up on a Sunday morning and say, well, I mean, there are some crazy people out there, don't get me wrong, but yeah, who
Yeah,
wakes up on
yeah,
a Sunday morning and knows that this man is going to play golf and that, hey, I'm going to go try to do what I have to do to finish him off.
yeah,
God, I just,
yeah.
I
Yeah, I
don't know.
know. I was reading through some of the guys' social media stuff, and he seemed a little out there, you know, as
Really.
far as when it came to all this political stuff. And you know, he's over there and wanting to fight for Ukraine and trying to recruit a team of people to go over there. And I mean, it's
Oh,
just a
wow.
bunch of crazy
Yeah,
shit. And more is going to come out as they dig a little deeper into it. But yeah, he
I'm
did seem
sure.
like he was all there. But did you see what Senator Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut said about the last Trump assassination?
No, I did not. I don't
I'm
care too much for the man, but yeah.
well, I don't either,
Yeah.
but it's I'm gonna play it for you and just let you
All
see
right.
what. Let me see here. Let me add it to this. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, honestly. When I get to it, I'll show you here. All right. Can you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's giving me some. Give me a second. Yeah, the audio screwed. I'll read it to you what he said. They called him out in the hallway, and they started asking him about the investigation that was going on in the last one. And his
Uh-huh.
exact quote was, "I think the American people are going to be shocked, astonished, and appalled by what we will report." As far as, man, damn it, I lost a quote. Damn screen jumped. Okay. We shocked and appalled about the failures by the Secret Service and the assassination attempt of the former president. So he's saying when they do release what they know, that
Hmm.
American people are going to be pissed. You know what I mean? And that's
Wow.
coming from a Democratic senator. So it's
Yeah, right.
what they know. But as they're investigating that one and haven't even released the information on that, this happens. You
This
know?
happens, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just none of it makes any sense. Uh, I mean, the only thing that makes sense is that they're allowing it, you know. So I don't know.
It is
Oh,
crazy.
man.
It's nuts. It's just, when you texted me about it and I finally saw the text, I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is
I
just
know.
incredible.
Well, that's what I heard. I was like, somebody came and showed me their phone with the I'm like, that's some
Yeah,
bullshit story. There's no way. So I jump on X and I start looking. I'm like, damn, like it is,
sure enough.
it
Yeah.
is. Like
Because
I
I
said,
did the same after you text me. I went straight to X and then I went back to Facebook and I went to Instagram. And sure enough, I'm like, this is just incredible. Here's this man twice now, twice,
well, I don't know if this has any you know, bearing on the situation. It may be coincidence, but I'm gonna show you what Trump put out on his social media. Let's see. Yeah, this was the one I was trying to. You
That
see him
was,
talking there?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that wasn't pulling up earlier. But let's see. Let's go to this. I want to show you, see if this has anything to do with it. All right, this is Trump's True Social account. This is straight from his account. You see what he put out here this morning. I hate Taylor Swift. All right. So then all of a sudden today, they're taking shots at him.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
piss off the Swifties that bad, you know?
Well, this guy was a Swifty, maybe, huh?
Watch him come
To
out,
the
he was
throne.
a Taylor Swift fan. Is what. But I saw that earlier, and I'm thinking, he's got to be on the toilet taking a shit bored, you know,
Yes.
because that's all he posted was, "I hate Taylor Swift." I'm thinking, "Jeez, oh, man."
Yeah,
But anyway,
exactly.
we're gonna miss that when it's all said and done, man. But,
Oh,
all
absolutely,
that
dude.
but I think we basically just solved the case, I think that's what it was. He pissed
I
off
believe it.
this dude.
Yeah.
That's
It's
all it
all due to
took.
Taylor Swift, the hate for Taylor Swift, huh, dude?
It's so stupid. I don't know what his deal was. But anyway, man, I don't know. I'm kind of over it. I mean, your emotions start, running, and you would almost think you're related to this guy when shit like this happens. You get so pissed off because it's like it's so blatant. You know,
Yes.
it's just
Yes.
so blatant what they're doing. Or, like I said, this is the worst era of the Secret Service that anybody has ever seen. You know what I mean? And if
And like you hit earlier, could it be because of DEI? Maybe it is. I mean, could it really be that incompetent now? You know?
dude, I, I guess that's the good way to look at it, opposed
Yeah.
to the other
You
way,
know?
which, they'll start calling you a conspiracy theorist. But, you know,
Yeah. And I mean, you look at the FBI. I mean, I don't have much faith in them anymore, or any of these alphabet names within the federal government. It doesn't seem
no,
like that they're out there for the country's best interests anymore. But Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm still kind of in shock and awe over it that that we're dealing with this on a Sunday here, um, and you're hearing about this. It's just it's nuts. It's incredible. It
it's
really is. It's a
it's
shame.
it is, and it's a lot to take in because, like you said, we haven't even figured out what the hell went on with the first one, and then now we got this.
Yeah,
It's
and we
crazy,
still have
man.
what 55 days or 54 days or something like that to the election, I sit back and I think about it. It's like, are they doing this to say, hey, man, we're going to stop this guy from doing anything in public, any type of public rallies or anything like that.
Right, right. Yeah,
This is the cat here.
that's him. Yeah, this is the guy. He looks like he's got it all together.
Yeah.
And this is some of his Twitter account. I mean, he's like begging Kamala Harris and Biden that you should visit the injured people in the hospital from the Trump rally and attend the funeral of the murdered firemen. Trump will never do anything for them. Uh, I don't know, just going
Wow.
about that. Went on tweeting to the POTUS account. Your campaign should be called something like KADAF, Keep America Democratic and Free. Trump should be MASA, Make America Slaves Again.
Mm.
So yeah, apparently he had a bone to pick with him. But
Yeah, absolutely.
his earliest post, if you read him, he was actually he says he voted for Trump, but he said
Oh,
he turned
really?
out to be a Trump that I didn't expect and all this shit. So this dude was off his freaking rocker. If
Yeah, this dude was a Kagu, man, big
yeah,
time.
I'm surprised he's still alive. Really, you know. I mean, every other they did it with JFK. They took his ass out. The one that shot him, and this last guy on the roof with Trump, they took his ass out. You know, I guess they'll probably they're bitching at this guy right now. Like, man, you were supposed to go out in a blaze of glory, and you didn't even get a shot off. What the hell are you doing?
And I guess the feds will take him into custody, I
Oh,
guess.
oh yeah, yeah. The feds are on top of it. Don't worry. They said they're going to get to the bottom of it.
Hmm.
Now that bottom must be very deep because they still haven't reached it in the first one. But
No,
don't worry, the feds are on it. FBI is on the case. They're going to solve this in a matter of hours and let us know exactly who, what, when, where, why, all of it. You got it coming, buddy.
it's amazing. It just, I don't know, man. I'm just floored by all of it. I don't know what the end game is, and I pray for President Trump, man, that he hopefully his safety holds up, man. But it's like even if he is elected president, yeah, I guess he'll turn everything around. His protection will be a whole lot better. But what do you do for the next 55 days, man? Do you just go out and hire your own mercenaries,
Yeah,
Blackwater or something like that
and even if I'm sorry, even if
to yeah. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even if you are elected, like, how do you trust any of them?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's tough to
yeah.
trust any of them, even if it's hired, like private hired security. Those people can be got at too. I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Money
yeah.
will do a lot of things, or just harassment from a certain branch of the government can make you do a lot of things. And
It
so
sure
it's
can.
and that might be thinking a little too deep into it, but if I've been shot at once and almost shot at again, I'm going to be thinking of
Yes.
all the crazy shit that could be going on and who could be behind it. And I don't know how you trust anybody to protect you at this point, you
No,
know.
I don't think you can.
But I
I
think
mean,
it.
look, you got to trust the guy that shot at the that guy right there. I guess you got to have some type of faith that he was doing his job. And I was telling my
Yeah,
wife he might be reprimanded, dude, for this. You know, he might be reprimanded. He might not be on that team anymore. You know, so
like somebody didn't brief him. You're supposed to let him get a shot off.
yeah, at least let the man shoot. Let's see.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
I'm back and forth on, as far as giving that man praise or not, because I assume he's part of the team that was supposed to be uh, making sure nobody was even close enough to shoot the president. Or I
You
don't know
would
how that
think.
operates. Maybe he's on it. Maybe there's different teams that do, they have different jobs that they associate with. I don't know, but I guess it's good that he did spot him. You figure if it was some sort of, inside job or something that he was in on, he wouldn't have stopped it.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
But
we got.
you would think in today's day of technology, huh, Shane, that drones, infrared
Yeah,
drones would be flying with cameras, circling the whole perimeter. Uh,
yeah, they
and
had.
I'm sure the Secret Service has to know that Trump puts out his itinerary and says, "Oh, I want to play golf on Sunday." Okay, well, he's not doing that. He didn't wake up this morning and say, "Hey, I want to go play golf this morning."
Oh yeah,
Maybe
they.
he did, but I doubt it.
Uh,
That they know days in advance that, hey, I'm going to play golf here. I'm going to be here. That's their calling to say, "Hey, I guess we got to start securing these perimeters, man." But
well, and that's what makes it look even worse on their part.
yes,
I mean,
oh,
because
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah,
it wasn't like it was just spur of the moment. Like, I think I'm gonna go play a round of golf. Like, you just don't do that when you're Trump. You know what I mean?
no,
Especially with everything going on and your safety and all. You
yes,
don't just have these, just spur of the moment. Just go play a few rounds of golf. So they knew what was going on. So why would anybody be able to be in the vicinity, close enough to take a shot? It doesn't make any sense at all. None.
yeah. Yeah,
None.
I don't know. And I mean, it's got to play with your psyche. I know it would mine if, I take a bullet to the ear and then 34 days later, not that he shot at him, but just to know that they give you this report that, dude, you got to roll. You got to get out of here. There's somebody set up in the bushes waiting to
Yeah,
take you out. Yeah.
and you were talking about the technology to even help, kind of prevent these things. I mean,
Yes.
the damn witness with a phone was just able to take the light picture of the license plate. It's like,
Yeah,
but why there should be surveillance everywhere? I mean,
you would
like
think.
cameras and like you say, drones. I mean, and there probably normally would be, you know what I
Yes.
mean? But for some reason, they're not doing all that with this situation. And I mean, I guess people can think what they want about that, but
Yeah.
it just seems
Well,
very.
you can bet if it was past presidents of recent, besides Trump, that the security is at its highest. I am sure. I would be willing to bet what I have that it's at its highest. But for some reason, this man is just such a detrimental threat to this country, to this government, uh, and it's just it makes you wonder what is truly that we don't know about what goes on. We can all go down those rabbit holes and think about it, but here's one man, not even really a politician for 4 years in politics,
Yeah. No,
and they're scared to death of him.
I used to try to stay away from jumping down the rabbit holes, but man, they're starting to look a little intriguing now because it's like
Absolutely.
it's hard to put anything besides malice into this. Like there's, you know what
Yes.
I mean? Like there's got to be some ill intent for this to happen
Yes.
twice, like it
Yes.
did. I mean, it's never it's just not heard of. You know what I mean?
No,
Just
you almost
once.
have to throw incompetency out the window
Yeah,
now and
that's
just
my
say
point.
this is
Yeah, there's
just pure
almost
malice, man.
right. There has to be some ill intent is where it
Right?
starts kind of leading you that way. I mean, I just don't see, this rarely happens once, especially nowadays to a
Right.
president. You know what I mean? Or
Yes.
anybody in a prominent position for it to be twice. It's like it's you would think it's like hitting a fucking lottery twice. I mean,
Yes.
it's and the second time is totally unexcusable. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like I
I-
said, you try to start giving people benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's just people that are not doing their job or being lazy on the job, but Secret Service and just be lazy on the job. That's just not how that it works, or at
No.
least it's not supposed to. I mean, anybody who's been involved with it or affiliated with it in the past will tell you that that's not how it was. I mean,
No.
nothing got by them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
any ex-CIA, I mean, even CIA, Secret Service, or FBI agent would
Yeah.
tell you that no, there is no downtime in being in those type of
God, no.
positions, you
That's why
know.
this type
So,
of shit, if you listen to, that Bongino,
yes,
because he was ex-Secret Service, I mean, he'll break it down to you how that shit is supposed to go and how it went when he was there. It didn't
yes.
matter who the president was, their party affiliation, you did your job. You know what I mean? And
Right.
these are highly sophisticated, they've got access to shit that you probably can't even fathom. But
Oh,
yet
I'm sure. Oh,
But,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure.
20-year-old with a rifle and a bag or whatever else he was carrying can climb on the roof in front of him, and then this guy can sit there and hide, quote, unquote, "behind a chain link fence,"
Yeah, with a
long enough to get the
GoPro and
rifle. Yeah.
armored plates. Yeah.
Is that what that was
Well, they
hanging
were
on the
saying
fence?
tile, they were saying
Yeah,
he had two bags with tiles in them, but
yeah.
I was reading another post and some other guy was saying that they were armored plates.
It's
So
kinda what it looked he was trying to do is maybe a little protection, in case they started firing, but I tell you, he got the fuck out of there as soon as they did, so apparently he wasn't too ready for a shootout.
yeah, no, he dropped everything and rolled. It looked like
He
because the
was like,
gun was
"I'm outta
there and
here."
the camera and all that stuff.
Man, I'd love to be a fly on the wall right now in that interrogation room, man.
Can you imagine?
Oh, man, I wanna be in but they said he was calm, collect like, just wasn't saying much, like, just very even keel when they picked him up, Said he didn't
Yeah.
ask questions on why, I mean, he was just like, he knew, you
Oh
know?
yeah, yeah. But it makes you wonder what brings people to this account, and why they want to do what they want to do. I mean, I have a disagreement or really just even just dislike the man. I understand it, but to go that far
Yeah.
without some type of interference to say, I need to take him out, I don't know how you wake up in the morning and even go that far with it, you
Yeah,
know.
it's
And
like, what I'm with you to get, driven to that point over some political nonsense
right,
really that it's fueled by the
right,
media. It's fueled by these politicians. They
right.
just, for one, especially when it comes to Trump, because they do nothing but paint this man as Hitler. Well, who the fuck wouldn't
Absolutely.
want to kill Hitler if you had a chance?
Right.
You know what I mean?
100% right.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, what do they expect to happen when that's the type of shit they keep throwing out there day in and day out? You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, the hate that the left spews upon this man, and not just him. It's anything. If you're a Republican, if you're white, it just the hate that they spew out there is just it's beyond me. And when you talk about how dirty politics are, it's a filthy, filthy game. And
And
there's
it's
some days I wish I wasn't even following it. I wish I could
right.
just be the happy John Q. citizen that
It's
was
not
looking
even,
for the next
yeah.
hunting and fishing trip. But you and I have started down this rabbit hole almost a year ago with this podcast, and it's like, dude, I just like you. That's all I'll do now is I eat it, suck it up, live it, and try to think of why, when, and what's the reasons behind a lot of this BS that's here.
And it used to just be, I don't know, 2 sides kinda going at it in a political way, just
Right.
this one's policy's bad and this, but, man, the way that it turned when Trump got
Yes.
involved, oh, I
Yes.
mean, they have people that have been doing this for decades that will say
Yes.
that they've never seen it like this, the atmosphere and the
No.
politics like it is right now.
From the day that man came down that escalator in Trump Towers, it's been on. And we're
Yeah.
going back to what, 16 now, 15 or whatever the date was. And it just shows you the hypocrisy of this federal government that we have, and how one man that's not even I don't even consider Trump a politician. I mean, he is in his own right, serving 4 years as president, but he's a businessman in my mind, and he's looking just to do what's right for the country. And God, I mean, just to sit here and listen to the left and the crap that they spew day in, day out, Shane, it's nauseating. And you know what gets me the most? It's these white liberals in this country.
Yeah.
It's not the blacks or the Hispanics or the Indians or the Asians. And most of them, when I hear interviews, they can't give you a reason why Trump is bad. It's just Trump is bad, and but they're all, Biden, Harris. Why? Well, I mean, because they bring happiness to the world. It's like they give you some of the lame brain excuses, and it's like no substance.
Yeah, because they don't even need a legitimate excuse because they've been gaslit so long, you know what I mean, to
Hmm.
believe that this man is as bad as the media portrays, but they
Right,
don't ever give a reason why Trump is bad. They just keep putting that into their brains, and
right.
some of them absorb it. Like apparently this guy did.
Yes.
I mean, when you want to go to to the point of willing to die for how much you
Yes.
despise someone, because even though he didn't get shot, he had to know going into that it was a possibility. You don't just take on the Secret
Yes.
Service and just think
No.
you're gonna run out of there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
to get to that point, you had to just been every day just taking that nonsense in that they were spewing at you and spewing and spewing
Yes.
and spewing, and it's like, what this guy thought he was going to solve by doing this. I don't know. Like you said, unless he was put up to it, it's a whole
It's a
different
good point.
story. I mean,
Yeah, it's another rabbit hole, man. And
well,
yeah.
I was reading Candace Owens tweeted out about an hour ago. She said
Hmm.
everything about this shooter's background reeks of a criminal turned federal assist in prison, convicted for weapons of mass destruction, and then years later trying to recruit Americans to the war in Ukraine. So she's thinking,
Wow.
of course now, Candace Owens can go get a little clickbaity, but she's saying that he just reeks of somebody that turned Fed, like look, you're gonna do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I
It
guess
makes you
that,
wonder how that happens too, man. I mean,
well, because we think about it from a sane mind. You know what I mean? But if you get a hold of the right person that's not of sane mind, it's probably
right?
not that hard to talk them into doing stupid shit. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Yeah, no,
Right.
we just judge everything from our brain. It's like you can come to me all you want and say, "Hey, look, we got this plan." If it
Right.
involves shooting anybody, especially a president, I'm gonna tell you, "Fuck you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got some people that are like, "Well, let me hear this plan." What's in it
Yeah.
for me?
Absolutely.
Oh, they'll
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
a
You can
movie
go
about
out as a hero and this and that.
it. Yeah,
Nah, but they
yeah.
want to play it. So yeah, and some people eat it up and some people dig it, man. I guess, dude. I
Well,
don't
this
know.
guy had the GoPro. That's probably what that was about. I'm sure he was going to film whatever he was doing and probably, hopefully, get away for long enough to post the shit online. So I guess he
Yeah.
wanted that fame of it and just to get that rush of look what I did.
Yeah. And I
So
mean, this guy was able to get to his car. Where was his car parked? I just, there's so many unanswered questions here. Like, I mean, was it parked in the parking lot
they,
at the golfing facility,
they
or was
probably
it parked in
valeted
this?
it. Secret
Yeah,
Service valet parked it for him.
right. Dude, it's insane when you think about that, dude. Just what it would take to put the time into something like that to say
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to do today, and I wake up this morning, this is what I'm going to do, and it's like just the planning and stuff, and it's like the redundancy of the Secret Service, and even probably was the local police there? I mean, I'm sure they were in some
Yeah.
capacity, but
Yeah.
I mean, and look, they're the ones that caught the guy. I mean, hats off to them too.
Is that what
And
is
look,
that what it
thank
was?
God for the John Q. Citizen that happened to snap a picture of the car and the license plate. I mean,
Oh, they'll get them too. They
yeah.
coming after that citizen. You
Well, that
fucking
poor guy will probably be the IRS is probably going to go crawl up his ass some kind of way. You know, There
stay
ain't
out.
no telling.
Yep, stay out of government business. That's what they're gonna tell him.
Hmm. Yeah,
Let's see.
mind your own business. It's
Yeah,
nuts. Nuts.
I know, man. I'm just I don't know. I mean, it's like and like you said, how many what we got 50 some odd days you said left?
Yeah, I think it was what, 55 or
Something
54
yeah,
maybe, something like
something like
that.
that. It's like what in the hell is gonna happen between now and November 5th when this I mean especially if you're Trump. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like what are you thinking? I know his son, I think it was Eric tweeted out afterwards, like, how many more lives does my father have left? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when is
Right.
this shit? Like, what are we doing here? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, the man can't go out and play golf now. You
Right.
know what I mean? And basically can't walk out of his house without worrying about who's going to allow some shit to happen.
Yeah.
Whether it be
And that's why you
purposely allowed
almost
or
believe it's a deeper conspiracy.
yeah.
It's
Well,
a deeper conspiracy than
I think a
than what
lot of people,
most people think.
especially ones that don't pay attention to this shit a lot. I don't really think they fathom how bad this government has turned from where it was, like as far as the design of the government when the nation was
Yes.
founded to where it is now, and how dirty and corrupt and powerful and power hungry.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think they understand the limits that a lot of these people will go to keep that power. You know what I mean? Because like I said it earlier, we think about all this from our brain, but they got people out there that apparently, I mean, look, just like Jeffrey Dahmer, they got people out there that will do that shit that he did. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Not everybody's in their right mind. And now you've got some people that want power, they want wealth, they want it so bad that they're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. We're not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We try
Right.
to do whatever's morally right, go to work, earn it, whatever. I'm not going to kill somebody over it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But they have people that will, and a lot of them seem to be running the government nowadays. You know what I mean? And
It's
for
true.
people to not believe that, they just don't pay attention enough to these
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and start cursing them and calling them bad names, but these sick people, man, I don't think
Yes.
they get where their brains are. You know what I mean? Because we've said it before, you don't get that high up in politics being a great person. You know what I
Not
mean?
at all. Yeah,
Being a
we've
good
talked
person
about
gets
that.
that gets you high up on your local level. That doesn't get you
Yes.
nowhere in this grand scheme of things in this world government. Being a nice
Right.
guy and wanting to help everybody, that does nothing for you in this political game. You know what I mean?
Isn't that the truth?
And that's
Man,
kind of
it is.
it's kind of showing with Trump. Not saying Trump's a nice guy. I don't know Trump like that. You know, I'm not here to
Right.
take up for Trump, but everything he was preaching, about making things better and actually how he made them better in his first,
Yes.
run, that
Yes.
you can tell that as bad as they don't want him in there, they don't want that. They don't want what
Right.
was going on in the country when Trump was running it. Everything was we were firing on all cylinders, man. There
Every
wasn't
one
these
of them.
crazy ass wars all over the place. These other leaders of these countries were in check. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Prices were down on everything. I mean, the economy was booming. Everybody was just going along, getting along, whatever. They don't want that. That's not what
No.
they want. You know what I mean?
Couldn't agree more. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you sit back and you hit on that the interest rates were low, inflation was low, you could actually enjoy yourself as an American by going to work. And look, we can sit here and bitch about paying taxes, but we all pay taxes, and it is what it is in today's day. But I've always said, and I think I said it last time we met, man, when you start affecting people's pocketbooks on a weekly basis, or monthly, or however you get paid, people are waking up to what this government is doing. And I'm going to hit it. I'm going to preach on it that it's amazing how this one man that's not a politician in my mind, a businessman, wants to come in and change everything and make it better than what it's been the last 3.5 years. And I'll agree that, and still, we still don't know the full effects of COVID, where it originated from. And we have our ideas, and a lab in China. But why? Why did it come out on his administration? It seems so fishy and so suspect when that happens. And it was just anything to stop this man, anything to stop him from what he was doing, because I do believe he was looking for change. But as you and I have talked about, Shane, with this deep state, I mean, it's a lot deeper than you and I have ever talked about, and what we have tried to discuss on our level. It's it's crazy. It really
Yeah,
is.
I believe if you think about how deep it goes, like you said, when you talk about the deep state, you think about how evil, how crooked, how deep it can go, times it by 100. You know what I mean? Whatever you can
Right.
fathom, whatever you can think is going on, you better just amplify that, because I
Yes.
don't even think the average person understands how deep this shit goes. And I mean, I don't want to get all Alex Jones on here,
No.
but I just, the more and more you pay attention to this shit, the dirtier you see this game is when it comes to these politics, man. It is all about money and power.
Yes.
All of it.
It is.
Whatever
It's
it
all about
takes.
money and power. And like I just mentioned, it's like, God, there's so many days in my life that I wish I would just have never even took this up as a passion. And it's been a passion. It's nothing I've started just within the last year, but years and years I've been following politics. And what I'm seeing over the last 4 years, or even back to Trump's administration, it has gotten worse every year with the politics and with what this government has done to us. And there's no stopping them. I don't believe, and I just believe, if it's COVID, if it's now, of course, Trump lost the election in 20. Here we are with this open border policy. Why? What is the benefit of open borders in this country? Well, I would love somebody to explain that to me in a rational mind and say, what is the benefit of letting our borders open to 180 countries around the world? What is the benefit of that?
Well,
There is none. I mean, not for us, there isn't for
well,
sure,
that's yes. I was going to
Yes.
say
Yeah.
not for the average citizen. No, there's
Right.
not. But it's funny you bring that up. Let me play this video that kind of breaks this shit down. Elon Musk actually shared it the other day, and it's very interesting. Let me pull that up for you, and
All
we'll
right.
see if I can get the audio working for you. Let's see. Yeah, I thought it was interesting, and when, like I said, Elon shared it, and I was like, "Huh, check that out." Let me know if you can hear it.
The Democrat open borders
Yeah.
plan to entrench single-party rule, explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world, enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize the needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen, with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones, ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all costs, even when they commit violent crime like murder and rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4. Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6. Wage a massive, heavily funded lawfare campaign to change state voting laws that legalize mass mail-in ballots, no signature verification, and no proof of citizenship requirements, making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud. 7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
100%.
Dude,
100%.
it's hard to argue with any of that.
You
You know
can't.
what I mean?
You can't argue with that, you
They
know?
broke that down pretty good because it makes total sense. Like the more
Yes.
these people can get into their district,
Yes.
the easier it is for them to keep this power. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very when I saw it, I'm like, damn, that makes so much sense because there's no other reason why they would think it's beneficial to just have those borders open like they do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they
Yes.
hide behind, oh, it's because America is the country that, everybody can come and prosper, send us your poor. That's not
Right.
what, because they don't give a fuck about their own poor in this country. You think they give two fucks about around the
Right.
world? No,
I
there's
agree.
another reason. There's a deeper reason they're bringing these people in. And I believe it's everything that was in that damn video. So,
Yeah, and Shane, you say that, and you say that with a good point. That why is the question. Why would you bring all of these illegals in here? First off, it's just to totally downsize us because there's been past presidents that have said that we're too big of a country, we're arrogant, we need to be brought down to size. But man, it even goes deeper when you look at the whole cabal of it. When you look at what's going on in France and Europe and all these other countries, if it's Ireland or wherever, Germany, all over the world with all this mass illegal immigration that's going on.
right.
It's a global source. It's a global source. How do you stop it? I don't know. I don't know besides some type of world war, which God, I pray and hope not. I'm not a warmonger. I hate it. Can't stand it. Um, but I don't know and like I've always said, we're going to be like Rome, man. We are going to fall from within. You can't print $1 trillion every 90 days and expect that we're going to be okay. Uh, there will be a fall from within, and it's
Well,
going to
people,
be a sad day for America because like Ronald Reagan said, we are the last free beacon on earth, man. There is no other place to run to, no other place at all. You
and
know.
some people think we're too, I guess, too powerful to fail. You know what I mean? As
Yes,
far
there's
as
a
it,
lot
not
of
in,
people that'll tell
yeah,
me that no, we're never going to
yeah,
fail. We're
can't
too
happen.
big to fail.
Yeah.
Well, it's the furthest thing from the truth, you know.
Yeah, and
So.
and the scary part is it too far gone? You know what I mean? I mean, when they're
There's days I wake up in the morning and that's the first thing that hits me that we are. I think we have to, and I think I've said that on podcasts ago that we have to go this route to really for people to wake up and realize how far we are. And the problem is you can take something as simple as healthcare, the Affordable Care Act. And we can debate that on insurances and what I had pre-Obama and what I was forced into have, just like millions of other Americans. Guess what, bro? Once it's here, it's very hard to get rid of. It's not something where you say, well, we don't like this, let's just get rid of it. Or I don't like this dog, I'm just going to bring him to the pound and let them take care of it. That shit don't happen when you're dealing with federal government and policies and laws. It doesn't happen overnight. And the problem's going to be is when it crashes and these people that have voted for this or supported this and believed in this mantra of bullshit, those are going to be the ones that are going to be like, "Ah, I didn't really want this." Well, too late, babe. Too late, Charlie. We're in it. Now you have to deal with it. Where people like myself can be like, I told you. I told you this was coming. I couldn't tell you a date, but I told you this was coming.
Yeah, you make a good point as far as it. You never realize how bad it is until it's just too far. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everybody's so comfortable in their day-to-day life right now.
Mhm.
Even the ones that, think they're uncomfortable as far as people
Right.
that aren't, financially well off. It compared to other countries or the other poor people in other countries, you're
Yes.
doing pretty good. So I think everybody's just so comfortable that they chip away at this a little bit at a time. You know what I mean? Your rights, your freedoms,
Yes.
and
Your
before you know
freedoms.
it, it's too damn late. It's just too
It's
late.
too late.
Because for
Yes.
one, it's already looking like that because of the amount of power that the government has, which is not
Yes.
what this shit was established for. You know what I
No,
mean? The government
I
was not
agree.
supposed to. It's like we fled that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where the government
Exactly.
was. We don't need kings and shit, and that's just what it seems like is going on nowadays with this government, man. It's they try to give you that false sense that you matter by letting us go out and vote and shit like that. But I
Yes.
just don't believe any of that shit matters. They've got their
It
claws
does. I'm at
and
the point now. I always thought it. Well, it did matter until we have to go vote, and it's our civic duty. Of course, it's a constitutional right for American citizens. But I'm at the point now in my life. I don't think it matters. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a Trump supporter. I believe in his policies, and I believe in the way the direction of this country has to be ran. But in the back of my mind, Shane, I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't. I think they're going to do whatever they have to do to not let this man in office. You know. There you go, Bubba. I love it. I love it. You know.
uh, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think we can see that happening right now. That they're going to do everything they can, and if he survives until election night, they're going to pull
Right.
some shady shit, just like they were accused of doing the last go around. And I say
Yes.
accused because you gotta nothing's been proven, but if you've
Right.
watched any of it, there was some fuckery that went on, and it's going to go on again. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to get rid of them the way that they're wanting to right now, which I don't know. They got 50 something days to keep trying. But if they
Right.
don't, it has to go to the ballot box. And from there, they can do what they want because who's going to
Absolutely.
question it? Because when you do
Exactly.
question it, they damn near throw you in prison for questioning it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
I
like,
agree
now
with you
what? You can't
100%.
question an election in this
Yeah.
country. You're supposed to be
Yeah.
free to do anything. I
Right. And
mean,
that's nothing better. If we go to that point, I mean, God, we're just nothing but a banana republic,
yeah,
man.
when you
And
can't question what the government's doing, and like I said, I don't
yes,
give a fuck if it's an election or not. You can be an election denier all you want. You have that right.
absolutely.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to. Now
Yeah.
they may call you kook and whatever other name they want to throw at you, but you still have the fucking right to do it. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Absolutely.
But
I,
they
I
made
look. I, like
everybody.
I. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna
Finish
say
your
they
point.
made everybody that questioned it. They made their life a living hell. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's not how
Absolutely.
this shit's supposed to be, man.
Yep.
If you really believe what you stand for, even if you're the government and you believe that these elections are fair, then let anybody who wants to question them. Say, bring it on. That's fine.
Yeah.
Question it. We'll prove it to you. But that's not what they do. You know what I
No.
mean? They tried to ruin people's lives that question the results of the last election. And like I said, whether they were fair or not, it doesn't fucking matter. We should have the right to question it, point blank.
Well, I long for the day, and I know it. I told you this off air. I long for that day that Trump wins November 5th, and then it goes in front of Congress, and then Kamala Harris has to certify this vote. I just think that would just be the ultimate f you. This is the
Yeah,
way it is, and
yeah,
but look, I think it'll come down to something like that. That I'm not going to certify this vote. Not
yeah,
like Pence did. I
yeah.
just I think there'll be some bullshit with it, and I
Well,
don't think it's. I'll be amazed if it goes off without a hitch. And if the Democrats win fair and square, that's just the way it is. We got to deal with it for 4 more years. we'll be sitting here talking about it 4 years from now and dealing with it. If Trump wins, dude, it's legit. Let it go. Let it go, and then they can fight. They'll have another day to fight
Well,
and move on, and we can deal with it, just like the past political
yeah.
races that we've had in this country.
Well, let me ask you this though: what
Uh-huh.
can they do to, guess, get it in your mind, or give you some comfort that it was a fair election? You know what I mean? Like, what
Uh,
can they do to where you're not sitting around questioning it? Because you
Nothing.
said, if she does win fair and square, then look, we accept it. But
Right.
what do they do to make you believe that? Do you just take their word? Do you just go on faith that, well, they said that, the elections aren't rigged, so let's just go ahead and, like,
Dude, for
in
the
other words,
most part, you know what would have convinced me that Biden won the last election? That if it would have been settled in a matter of polls are closed within a matter of 4 or 5 hours with the technology we have today, it's settled. Biden has
yeah,
won. But you don't shut down polling places and be like, and start saying that, well, we're going to come back tomorrow and start counting again. It
right,
just, to me, that's just throwing gasoline into a fire. And, look, in my mind, do I believe it was a rigged election? Absolutely. To some point, somehow, some way, we'll probably never know the truth of it. But I just don't see how the man didn't win last time. I don't believe Biden got 80 something million votes. You'll never make me believe that. And going forward, what would stop them from doing what they probably have been doing? You
right,
know,
exactly, yeah, and
you
and
know,
it's like, how do you regain that trust from the citizens, that do question what
yeah,
went on, because they'll never
yeah,
have mine again. You know what I mean?
no,
I
yeah,
don't have any
I'm with you.
faith, any trust in anything the government does or says, and it
No,
wasn't even that deep until you saw what happened during COVID. Now, like
yes,
you said, the shit's probably been going on forever, but it
yes,
really, really opened your eyes to where you have absolutely zero faith that the
yes.
government's doing anything in anybody's best interest besides their own. You know what I mean?
Besides taking your tax dollars
Well,
to pay for all
well,
this
gotta,
infrastructure.
I was gonna say they got to get their salary somehow, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, you lose all faith, and I don't know what they could ever do to get that back. I mean, that's, and and look, they probably don't give a shit. You know what I
No,
mean? They
I
don't
mean, I
care.
think they're so blatant out there today that they really don't care.
They don't care if I trust them, you trust them, or anybody, out there. They
Yeah.
don't care
And you
because
know
they're
what?
getting,
One of the main problem is with a lot of this is that it's the media. If and I'm not saying, look, we talk about media, and that's the first thing people that are different than me. They'll find, well, you're a Fox News guy. Well, I
right.
do. I follow Fox News, but I do like to listen to MSNBC or CNN or whatever it is, and I follow them on all these websites. But they're in the back pockets of the Democrat Party. I mean, you could see it with the last debate, and look, if Kamala had an earpiece or not, I don't know. To me, she was a little more refined than I thought than normally she is on the campaign trail. So that kind of leads me to believe that first off, she knew the questions. Second off, one of the moderators was one of her what sisters from
Soror,
college or
yeah,
something like that,
soror,
and then you had this other guy that sounded like that he was debating Trump. He wasn't the moderator; he was the one debating Trump. And
yeah,
so it's like, so if you had somebody talking in your ear and you knew the questions, and you had these two moderators going against one guy, it's like Trump's battling four people. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. And I
Trump's
don't.
battling four people in a debate.
I lean more towards that she knew, her team knew what was going to be asked. You know what I
I
mean?
believe it. Yeah.
Definitely lean that way as far
Yes.
as the earpiece thing. I don't know, not
Yeah.
really
I
convinced
don't know if
on that. I
I'm
don't think
with
she
you.
needed.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I don't think she needed it. I think she
No,
was prepped
exactly.
very well because they
Right.
knew exactly what the fuck was going to be asked. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
And it's just like anything, it's like if you're going into anything and you know what's going to be presented to you, if you're going to give a speech or if you're going to take a test or whatever it might be, man, if you know the questions to the test or the questions to the answer, guess what? I'm going to be a whole lot more calm, cool, and collective when it comes time to start answering questions because I'm going to have time to think about them.
Yeah, and especially when you've had the amount of time that she had. I mean, they could prep any of us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
they've got this the whistleblower that's claiming that ABC gave Kamala sample questions in advance,
Yeah.
coming out saying that they're willing to say this, with the risk of being charged with perjury if they have to do it under oath. That's how adamant they are. You know what I
How you
mean?
like
So
that, huh?
I
Yeah.
mean, you take that whatever we want, but I mean, it's a somebody claiming from
Yeah.
ABC
Yeah.
that she was, and I don't doubt it. Why would we doubt it? Because they got busted doing that shit before. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As far as
And
giving the
let me ask you
Democrats,
this: what's your opinion on this? I mean, how do you feel that Trump has come out and said that I'm not interested in any more debates right now?
I think he knows it's so heavily weighted against him. It's like, what is the point? And,
Yes.
and, and
What is it going to
honestly,
prove? Right?
yeah, and honestly, I mean, does he need to do it? You know what I
No.
mean? I
No.
mean, I don't see anything that happened from the last one. It didn't
No.
get either one of them anywhere. Matter of fact, they claimed it did worse. When they looked at these polls, that it actually did worse for her than what they were hoping it was going to do. So it didn't really
I've
help.
I've seen that, and I think you and I talking off air a bunch that it's like 50 something days out, or it would have been 60 something days when you and I last talked face to face off air. When you sit back and look at it, it's like, and I know I've told my wife this, man, if you're 60 days in or 55 days in now in an election and your mind isn't made up, I
Yeah,
don't know what to tell you. I don't think you're going to persuade anybody from the left saying, hey, you know what? I think Trump hit the nail. Maybe, but I think most people's minds are made up in this election. I would
got
think
to be.
so. You
Yeah, how
know,
can they not be? I don't
yes,
understand
yes,
what else are you waiting to hear? You know what I mean? They've all laid it out there. You know what she stands for, whether you like it or not. You know
right,
what Trump stands for. So it's
right,
like, yeah, who else is on the damn fence right now? I mean, I don't know.
yes,
I'm with you. I mean, I know abortion seems to be a huge,
yes.
platform they like to run on. I mean, the Democrats won't stop with that. So
No,
maybe there's they feel like they've got some people that may be on the fence, but that's what pushes them over. I personally don't see it, as far as anybody
yeah,
knowing, I mean, who the hell they're going for now. I mean, I don't, but they keep doing it. They keep fighting for that
right.
person in the middle, so I don't know.
Yeah, to me, that's so a low information topic to be pushing in a campaign. Abortion, look, do I think it's important? Yeah, I think it's, and look, I think Trump did the right thing. Of course, they're touting that Trump went around and totally knocked all abortions out throughout the country. It's a federal ban and all that stuff. No, he just sent it back to the states. But to me, if I'm sitting here as a hardworking American paying taxes and trying to support my family and afford the things in my life, not living a lavish lifestyle, I'm worried about the economy. I mean, when you and I talk all the time, what is it that we talk about most of the time? It's just, I can't believe how my business is, or this is, it's up, it's down. The taxes we pay. It's not, we don't sit around talking about abortion. We don't sit around talking about transgender rights. And,
No,
we don't sit,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, you're right. We're worried about everyday real shit. I mean, I think these
yeah,
topics that they're hitting on, I don't know who they're pushing that to, because I'm with
right.
you. There's so much more important shit going on that I think the average citizen is concerned with, and you just hit on them. I mean, for one, people's money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You start fucking with
yeah,
their money, and then people
yeah.
really start to. But I think they're trying to distract from that. You know what I mean? Everything's a
Yes,
distraction.
yes.
It's like, no,
Well, it
let's
is,
talk,
dude.
let's talk
It
abortion.
is a
Yeah, you
distraction
know what I mean?
because when you hear them sit back and talk, Shane, on this Democrat ticket, dude, when you hear them sit back and talk about how we're going to change this day one getting in the office, well, it's like, dude, you've been in office for 3.5 years, and interest rates have went from roughly 3%, 3.5% to 8%. Inflation's went to over 20%. I see it every week. Not that, look, I don't go to the grocery that much, but I've got to hear from my wife,
Yeah,
God, I spent this much money, or I see it at the gas pump. I see it in just every day with my business, just with what stuff costs day in and day out. And it's just, and look, what is every business going to do if prices go up? And you're a business owner. What are you going to do? You have no choice but to pass it to the
that's normal.
consumer,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, these Democrats, and they're catering to the low IQ voter, low information voter, low IQ voter. And it's a shame in this country that we have that in this country. Look, and I might sound racist for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway, that I believe in my heart that if you don't have any skin in the game, I don't know why you're voting anyway. I don't think you should have a right to vote. When I sit back and look at it, you pay no taxes, you get all these subsidies off the government year in and year out, and you're going to be able to vote. Well, I know what you're going to vote for. You're going to vote for no change. You want to keep those benefits coming to you each and every day, but not for the guy that owns a business that pays corporate taxes, that employs 7 to 10 people, pays unemployment, workman's comp, all of these taxes, corporate taxes, capital gains taxes. I've done the right thing, just as you have. I've done the right thing, and I'm doing what I have to do. I go without to make sure that my family has. And there's weeks at my work that I don't take a paycheck, so my people can be paid. But when I sit here and say that, I don't, like I said, I'm not a racist guy. But when I sit back and say, should you have a right to vote just because you're a citizen? No, I think you need skin in the game, man. And I'll go down with the ship on that. You know.
Well, and that, has nothing really to do with race. You know what I mean? I think it's just, I guess the point you're getting at, what you talking about, like, when you say skin in the game, you mean
When I
taxpayer?
talk about skin in the game, I'm a landowner that pays property tax. I'm an employer. I own a business that employs people, that make sure that my taxes are paid, not just yearly, but quarterly. Yeah, and I employ people. I try to generate the economy, if it's a local economy or if it's even on a federal level. I do. I feel like I do my part when I talk about I have skin in the game. I have reasons to vote. I'm not the one sitting at home saying, well, I'm waiting for that check every month to come in, if it's EBT or if it's a housing check. No, you know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
they contribute nothing to society,
Yeah.
nothing at all to society, but they reap off of what people like myself
Yeah.
pay and
Taxpayers.
put
Yeah.
into society. Why should you have a vote?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're
You
not.
know? And look, I know it's a touchy subject. I really do. I know it's a touchy
I get it.
subject, but it is what it is.
Right. Right. I'm just trying to think of the other side of it. I don't really know. I mean, besides the fact that they say that you're right as a citizen, but I'm with you. I mean, if the choice you make is the wrong choice when you're voting and
Right.
it doesn't affect you in any way because you have nothing to lose, then yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I
Exactly.
guess, I guess it's an argument to be made for sure. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if it's the right one yet. I'd have to really think on it more, but I see what you're saying for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
You
you
know.
can go in there and press any button you want because, you know, uh, for whatever, because your certain celebrity tells you to do it, but you have no
Yes.
fucking clue the repercussions of what could happen by
Absolutely.
pressing that button and it being the wrong person in office. You don't have a clue. You don't care because it's not really going to affect you. You're still gonna eat because they're going to feed you. You know what I
Right.
mean? Maybe crumbs, but they're going to feed you. They're going to take care of you
Exactly.
like they've been doing. I mean,
Yes.
meanwhile, people like us, we will be where they're at. Because of the wrong
Absolutely.
decision. Now we'll be
Yes.
waiting for the government to feed us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I get it. I just
It's
you
a
know,
touchy subject. It really is. But it's like when you sit back and look at it, and it's like, when's enough enough? When is enough paying taxes, or when isn't funding what we fund? And if it's not, and look, I don't want anybody homeless. I don't want any drug addicts. I want everybody to receive the proper mental health that they need, or veterans. I mean, God, they got veterans living on the street that are homeless, and they've defended our country for years, and here they are, they have nothing. But here we open up our borders to all of these illegal people, and we give them everything.
right.
We give them everything that they need. But why? Why? I'm
You know why?
fathomed by it. And I know I'm getting off the beaten path about,
No. This
if you don't have skin in the game, why should you be allowed? Why you shouldn't vote? And it's like, it's a touchy subject. You can call me a pasty white guy or whatever. People are going to comments. We're going to get, and it
but
is what
you're
it
not,
is. I
but
have my beliefs. I do. I
no,
have my
you're not,
beliefs.
and you're not talking race though. I mean, it
Right.
doesn't matter what race.
Right.
At least from what you're saying, it don't matter white, black, whatever. You're
No.
just saying if you don't have anything to lose, then
Right.
as far as you don't contribute nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right.
Then why should you
But
have a
in
right to
some
decide
but
who's
in
running
some
the country?
classes, I would be considered a racist for saying that.
Well, yeah, because they're going to break that down to a racial
Yes.
thing, which it's
Right.
it's not, because
Exactly.
there's a lot of non-contributing white people. There's a lot of
Oh,
non-contributing black people. I mean, you
yes.
name it. They've got people that just don't do shit but live
They
off of
just don't
taxpayers.
shoot shit. Right.
Some of them, they
Yeah.
make a career out of it. You know what I mean?
Oh
Now,
yeah.
there's some people
Absolutely.
that are legitimately on it because they need the help. They're
Right.
in unfortunate situations. I get, but there are some
Yes.
people that is their job, just finding a way not to be taken off of government assistance. Oh, well,
Yes.
I can't
It
can't work that many hours because, and it's like, because what?
right.
You might have to
And it
earn
has. It's
fucking
become
money.
generational, man. It has. It's become generational in this country that this is what we do. This is how we vote. This is what we're going to get. Why change it? Why disrupt the apple cart or whatever it might be? But
Well,
yeah, and look, I understand, man. You hit on it just 30 seconds ago that people need help. There's people out there that will not make it, and they work, and then they still can't make it. They can barely afford rent, they can barely afford gas, and whatever the situations might be, you know. And I do believe in helping people like that, but I do believe in helping people that want to help themselves, you know, before anything else, you
well,
know.
what's interesting is the whole discussion that we just had for 5 minutes. It all revolved around finances. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and I think that is a bigger issue when it comes to voting in this
Yep.
election than anything else they're trying to spew out there to distract these voters. Like we
Right.
brought up earlier, the abortion issue. I just don't think that's that big of a issue to the average American.
Me
You know what
neither.
I mean? Not the way that people are suffering in this economy, but that is a
Right.
great way to distract the average American from what's really going on. By to say, no, 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 don't worry about the economy. Y'all need to be arguing about this. You know what I mean? They're
Yes.
going to take your rights away. When you start
Right.
saying that, people's ears start perking up like, oh, take my rights away. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that's all that's, but this is a thought out game by these politicians. There's no
Yes.
way, none of it's accidental. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Trump starts talking about how bad the economy is. They start talking about him not letting you kill your babies. And it's like that's what they do.
It's so true. It
That's
is.
what
It's
they
so
do.
true, man.
And they're
Yeah.
good at it. They're polished. They're seasoned. It's
Yes.
exactly what they do, man. It's all a big
Ex-
distraction from what's really going on in the topics that people really care about, which right now
Yes.
is the economy. Because
I agree.
the only ones that are doing fine are the ones that are uber wealthy, or the
Yes.
ones that are bottom feeders that are living off the government anyway. They don't give a fuck
Yes.
about the
Their
economy.
checks are coming. Their
Right.
checks are steady. And then, like you said, the uber wealthy. Look, it did. It cost me a few more thousand this month to fill up my jet, or I'm paying a little more money here in taxes, but it doesn't affect them down the
Yeah,
road. It
there's
affects
no
it affects
suffering.
us, the middle class, man, all the way around, dude.
And I still don't think people are suffering enough to make any kind of major change, because
Yes.
we always talk about, what would it take for people to actually rise up and do something to stop this tyrannical government that's going on right now. But I just think it takes people to be in a position to where you're damn near starving to death. And, we
Yes.
are a way away, a ways away from that. So with that, that's what gives these politicians the edge, is that they know what they're doing as far as just slowly chipping away at that and slowly
Right.
taking it away to where you don't really notice it happening, and it just all of a sudden you just turn around and say, whoa, the fuck
You
happened?
wake up one morning and it's
Yes,
gone.
but by that time
Yes.
it's too late. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Especially when they
There's
keep us
no
too
getting it
busy.
back. Once it's gone, there's no getting it back.
Right.
You
And,
know?
and, and then when they do such a good job of keeping us at each other's fucking throats and arguing about something else, we're not paying
Right.
attention to that. You know what I mean?
Isn't
So
it
it all,
amazing how they love to pin the middle class against the impoverished or the poor class? You
yeah,
know,
I don't
and then I
understand that.
love how they throw out there. Well, we need to tax the billionaires and the millionaires more. You know, and that's always the go-to. And I'm sitting back and I sit back and look at it, and it's like, well, you're the one saying this on air. And I know you're a millionaire, probably 10 times over, you know? And my question is that, are you okay with paying more taxes? Are you okay? And if you are okay, I know on that IRS tax form at the top, you can donate whatever you want to the IRS, you
Yeah.
know, instead of
Yeah.
trying to push it upon the middle class. And uh, yeah,
Yes.
anyway, we
Have
could
at it.
rant on.
Yeah.
Yes,
Donate all you want.
donate all you want, you know. I
What
don't know,
else?
man. It's such a hot topic, and it is. And I just look, I pray for Trump. I do, regardless if he wins or not. I want him to win, but I just it shouldn't be where we at right now in this political season where this man has done been through two assassination attempts. And of course the left is going to classify it was never truly an assassination attempt because no shots were fired at him, you know.
Yeah. Well.
But we know well and right what was going to go down if that Secret Service agent didn't disrupt the protocol, you know.
Well, and what's worse is we may have touched on it before, but suppose Trump wins. Okay, what
Yeah,
happens after Trump? You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah,
Because now you've got anybody that is getting into this game to try to do the right thing and get this country on track. Well, this is going to scare a lot of normal people off. Nobody wants
oh,
this
you
shit.
think?
You know what
No,
I mean?
who
So
wants to
unless
deal
you're
with
willing
this?
to play the game that they're playing, who the fuck
Right.
wants this? It
Yeah,
takes somebody like a Donald Trump to stay in this bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whatever the reason be, whether it be ego or whether he really wants to try to change, or whatever the reason is, he's still staying in it. And the average person would not do this. I mean, why would you do this? You know what I mean?
No, I couldn't agree with you more. You know,
So,
here we got a billionaire that could be enjoying the rest of his days at 70, what, 78 years old, could be
yeah,
enjoying the rest of his days shooting golf, whatever he wants to do, traveling around to all of his beautiful properties. And here he's sitting here and he's fighting for the the American person. Uh, and I do believe the man loves country. I do. I believe he loves his country, and I believe he's fighting for what we have established 250 years ago, and to keep something similar to it,
yeah, I think now they've made it, and they've made it personal. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I mean, just the way
Absolutely.
from day
Yeah.
one how they attacked him, and you can see Trump just isn't the type that's going to sit around and be attacked and not do anything. Now, I never thought he would take it to this level, where as far as risking his life for it. So,
Right.
what that tells you about him, I don't know. Some people, like I said, they blame it on ego, that his ego is just that big that he would take a bullet for it. Others look at it like, well, maybe he really does believe in what he's out there preaching. I mean, me
I believe it.
myself, I'm not dying for this shit, but you know, I'm just not. I mean, I'm living too comfortable. So imagine if you're Trump, how comfortable he was living, and now he's out
Yeah.
there risking his damn life day in and day out for
Yeah.
whatever his plan is. I mean, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
like I said, it boils down to, though, what happens after Trump? Who else is going to step up and do what he's doing
Right.
or trying to do? You know what I
I
mean? Who else
agree.
is going to
Who do you
fight?
have?
Yeah,
Right.
who's going to fight this establishment, man? I think for you not to respect that, no matter who you are in this country, you've got some brain cells
Right.
missing. Like he should be getting nothing but praise for standing up to these people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I think too many
Yes.
people are still under that assumption, or that the government is here to help the citizens. And as soon as you can get them out of that mind frame, maybe they wake up and start really seeing, what's going on and who's better off in
Yes.
office. In office, you may not be a fan of Trump, but
Right.
it's either we go with that or we go with the typical, just what's been running the fucking nation for decades now, that's gotten us
Right.
where we're at. You know what I
Yes.
mean? At each other's throats, at war. I mean it. But like I said, I think they have so many people duped into believing that they're doing, what they need to be doing to help the citizens of the country. And I just
Yes.
don't know how anybody watches what goes on and believes that. But they do. I mean, they really do. They're
Yeah.
just naive people. Like you said, it's uninformed voters. I don't want to say uneducated, because not all
No,
as
there's
you
a
know,
lot of them that
pay
are
attention.
educated,
Yeah, you just don't pay enough attention. You just going on
or
about
indoctrinated, maybe would be a
yes.
better word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you just go on
Yeah.
about your day. You don't pay much
Yes.
attention to this shit. But like I said, the problem is, before you know it, it's going to be too late to pay attention. And that's what
Yes.
people need to understand. Now, does paying attention do anything? I don't know. I mean, if voting matters, then it does. If we can keep that going to where your vote actually matters, then paying attention does matter, because then it's gonna let you decide how you vote, and hopefully you vote the right way. But with that being said, if this voting shit is what it's starting to look like, that it doesn't fucking matter who you vote for, they're going to appoint someone to be president, then, I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
all is
I'm at a point. I believe it's a higher source, man, that's controlling everything now.
yeah,
And I think that's why they fear this man, because he will be, the missing spoke in the wheel, or he will be the one that kind of disrupts the apple cart. But you know what? Like you said, it's only for 4 years, man. So, what can he initiate policy wise that might last longer than 4 years, or what can he uncover in 4 years? That
well,
could be something monumental, man.
that's what I was just about to say, is that I guess there's, because I looked at it a while back, like, why not just let the man, if he wins, have his 4 years, let him go, and then y'all can regain this fucking power that you're after. But I
Right.
think you just hit on it. I think they're deathly afraid of what he can uncover in those 4 years, because they fought him
Absolutely.
tooth and nail the first time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it seemed like the closer he got to anything, to actually draining this swamp, the harder they fought, because they knew what was coming. So I think
Yes.
they're trying to avoid that more than anything, because if not, like I said, you would just ride these 4 years out, and they'd be like,
Right.
look, Trump's gone after this shit. He can't run again. Let him
No.
do his thing, and then business will continue as normal.
Yes.
But I'm with you. I think they're just so afraid of what that man might expose to the American people, and they can't have that because then you lost all faith in this fucking government. You know what I mean? Because
True
right
that.
now it's all speculation. I don't trust the motherfuckers just because of what I believe is going on. Once you know it's going on, then they done lost the power. They done lost the control over the people. You know what I mean? Besides
Exactly right.
forcefully taking it, but they lost the mental control over the
Yes.
citizens, and they can't have that right now. You know,
They cannot have that right now. No, that would be detrimental to the country for sure. You know,
detrimental
so
to their fucking grand plan. You know,
exactly. And I do. I believe the grand plan is just one world government. I mean, I've
yeah,
been reading about it for 20 plus years, you know,
yeah,
and it's there. And God, I just urge people to wake up, man, and do your own research. You know, what's going on isn't good. You know, it
yeah. It's
really
almost
isn't.
like I don't know. I mean, it seems like a bunch of supervillains sitting around a table, you know. That's when we start talking about this one world government.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's like when you watch what's going on, it's hard not to even picture it like that. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of Doctor
exactly.
Evil sitting around. You know, how they even get along, I don't know. But
No,
I don't believe that we have the freedom and the control to control who's in power as much as we're led to believe we do. You know what I mean? As far as with the voting system and all, I just don't. I just believe that's a thing
yeah.
in the past, because it's too easy to corrupt it. You know,
Yep.
and
Look,
it's
go back and listen to George Carlin, man. He was way before his time, you know. You can
yeah.
listen to some of the things he talks about, and it's so relevant in today's day, you
Well,
know,
yeah,
if you listen to a lot of things he says, you know.
and what that does is it lets you know that there's nothing new about this.
No,
As far
exactly.
as
Yeah, there is nothing new,
when
man.
you
No.
you go back and listen to a amazing little I don't want to say a speech, but Paul Harvey. I know you've heard
Yes.
that one.
Oh,
I
oh
mean,
yeah.
this was how many years? I mean, years and years
That
ago.
was like what was it, 60
Oh my
something?
God, yeah, and he's talking about the same shit we're talking about today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just been going on for forever with these politicians, man. These
You're
guys,
talking about if I was the devil?
yes, and he tried to
Yes.
warn you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
it just
I
people
know.
just they don't want to believe, that shit like that is going on or that it can happen. And if you go back and
Right.
listen to that if I were the devil, it's very
Right.
powerful, man. And it's like you listen to it nowadays, like damn, like wow,
Yes.
what the
It
hell
is.
did he see coming, and
Yeah.
how? You know
And
what I mean?
how?
Yeah.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I guess, like I said, it just lets me know that none of this is new. I mean,
No.
it's been going on. That's why it's hard to believe that there's any way out of it. You know what I mean? Because I
Yes.
just think we're so deeply entrenched in what's going on when it comes to
Yeah.
politics. The average citizen is not going to change it. You know what I mean?
No. And it is a shame, you know, we're just such a young country. I mean, 250 years old.
That's
We're
the
such a
scary
young
part.
country.
Yeah.
And to know that, we have changed the world in 250 years. We're so far advanced in a lot of these countries that have been around for eons,
Yeah.
and to know that it can all be gone in a matter of just a snap of a finger or stroke of a pen, or however you want to classify
Yeah.
it.
Well,
Uh,
being so young is the scary part because I mean, it's not like we've been
yes.
here for thousands of years. I mean, we're
No.
we're infant. I mean,
Right.
we're
Right.
babies when it comes to this place. You know what I mean? So to
Yes.
think that this shit can't, go
Right.
down, you'd be foolish to believe that, but
Yeah.
people do because we judge everything by our lifetime. You know what I mean?
Right. And
It's
the
like,
question I like to bring up, and when I talk to my kids or if I'm talking to people in a group, and it's like, where do we go? There is no going anywhere. It's not
yeah,
like, World War
where do
II
you
was
flee
coming
to?
and Hitler was taking over Europe. Well, I'm going to flee to the United States for a better life. Or all of these other immigrants all over the world are like, well, I'm getting out of Venezuela, Brazil, Haiti, wherever it might be, Africa. I'm going to the United States to start a better life. Um, Dude, there's nowhere else to go.
I'm going to Texas.
Texas, yeah.
I'm going to Texas. Texas,
I'm gonna,
Texas is going to hold it down for us.
yeah, Texas. I'm gonna stay right here in the good old deep swamp of Louisiana, and I'm just gonna deal with what we have to deal with,
We'll be
So,
good for a while. We'll be good for a while down
absolutely,
here,
man.
but
Yeah, absolutely.
it's
Look, as long as we can podcast and we can support
shit,
ourselves, that's for
they
sure.
shut that shit down
So,
first. They
yeah,
shut down all forms
absolutely.
of communication when they're ready, buddy. It's coming.
Oh, without a doubt, dude. That's the scary part, man. How they can control the information and even the power supply, and
Yeah.
we spending all these hundreds of billions of dollars and we're not even securing ourselves as a country. I blame the government for that. So, and
Well,
it's not just left-leaning politicians, dude. I blame right as well, man.
all of them,
All
all
of
of them,
them, every last one of them, man.
dirty as shit, man. It don't matter
Yep.
what side. It don't matter what side, man. Like I said, unless it's some local shit, the guy running your local school board may be a great guy looking to do the right thing, but these
Right.
assholes that get high up into this federal government, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't even believe even the state-run government, whether it be your mayor, governor, I think they've got their greed and their power struggles, but I just don't think they're anywhere near the evil that these people that are high up in this federal government.
Federal level. I agree with you
Yeah, I
100%.
mean, I think
And
they all
we've
have
hit on that
aspirations.
before. Yeah, you go in there with good intentions,
Yeah,
and the first thing you bring out your good intention, you're told you want to be on this committee, you want
yeah.
to be in this ranking or whatever, you're going to do this, you're going to vote this way. And if you want to be in the good old boys society, you're going to do what you have to do.
Oh yeah, like I'm with you. You go in there with good intentions, and you're not leaving. Well, you may leave with them, but you're gonna be forced out. You're not sitting at
Yes.
the table with Doctor Evil like that. He's gonna push that button on you, and you're going down. You know what I
Ain't
mean?
that the truth?
Yeah. I just believe that's how it is, man. They're not going to convince me otherwise that there's anybody high up in the federal politics
Right.
that are there for the right reason. I just don't think you make it that long.
No.
I just
And
don't.
and it's look, I sit back and I'll talk and it's like, how do you stop the machine, which is the federal government? I just don't think that John Q. Citizen as a whole can ever stop the machine. So I just
Nah,
think it's too big.
like I said, I think they give us that false hope that we have the power to do that by
Yes. That
voting.
we have a voice or we have a say so and
Everybody has a voice. Make sure you go out and vote. And
yeah,
I don't think
exactly. I'm
anywhere
with you. It's all a bunch of bullshit.
anywhere near the truth. I was trying to see. Speaking of voting, they were saying it kind of backfired there when old Taylor Swift came out, telling everybody to go that she's supporting
Did,
Harris.
did did you see some of the posts?
Yeah,
you
I,
know,
no, go ahead.
No, she was just yeah. People were posting, she spent her whole musical career talking about bad relationships, and
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah. And then she's gonna tell you who to.
and
Yeah,
she's
I
gonna
saw
sit here
that.
and tell you who she's voting for.
Yeah, no, they had like they were showing some statistics from a polls that they were taking that it somewhat backfired on her. That once she came
Really?
and did that a big percentage of people said that actually swayed them to vote. To now start looking the other way.
Right.
I was like, well, good. That's good. I don't know what these people had against her, but it's like as soon as she said it, they were like, well, we might start looking at Trump now. Now, I mean, these are polls. We say about any poll. I mean, it depends on who the fuck you're polling, I guess. Because if they poll me,
Yes.
I'm gonna of course say, yeah,
Absolutely.
fuck, I don't give a fuck what she says. Fuck her. But
Right.
so I guess that all makes a difference. But it was just funny to see that it didn't quite get the reaction that she was hoping. Because for one, it's like, 12-year-olds can't vote. So it's like, who is she talking to? Or who is she
Yes.
swaying? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I just can't see any
And
mature
that's about
ad.
her age group, isn't it? Probably
Oh, it's gotta be.
16. Yeah.
It's
You
gotta be. So
know.
I'm thinking what kind of, mature adult is like, well, Taylor Swift said, I don't,
Yes.
but there are people, I guess, because I think we
Oh
hit on that
yeah.
a while back when we were talking about the fiasco that Joe Rogan got into by mentioning RFK before RFK got out of the race. And I'm thinking, well, who the fuck's listening to Joe Rogan? Like, well, Rogan said, he supports this
Yes.
guy, but I think Bougie touched on it that there are people out there that's
I believe it.
they
Yeah.
follow these celebrities like it's the written word of God.
It's
It's
true.
weird. I mean, I
You
don't.
know.
I try to watch
No.
the news and try to see what's going on, and hopefully make a sane judgment. But I guess there are some people that they get these uh what do you call them? These entertainers and all these motherfuckers. They get them out there to do this for a reason. So I guess they know it
Yes.
works.
Absolutely.
It's more
Well,
than
people are easily persuaded, man.
yeah, and I
People are
think
easily persuaded at it.
think it's them going after that young crowd, and I think that's
Hmm.
what celebrities do more. I think
Yes.
them young people follow them, because they look up to them. I think they know people that are in our age group. It really don't give two shits what celebrities voting
No.
for who. You might think it's cool when one of them comes out and actually vocally supports the person you're going, it's like, oh, well, that's cool.
Right.
He came out and,
Yes.
and did that, but it's not like
He's
anybody changed.
persuading me to go do it. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
it
You know.
just doesn't seem like
I
it.
work off of facts, brother.
Try to.
I like to listen to facts and I like to listen to opinion. I like to ask questions and I like
Yeah.
to opinions. I like people's opinions. I really do. It don't piss me off, but I like to see why. Why are you voting for that? Or why do you feel like that? Explain to me,
Well,
Not that you're going to convince me, but I have my own ideology, but
I like the opinion in the comments. She said, but Kamala was saying that the young voters were stupid, and it's true because there is a soundbite. There's
it's
a video.
true. Yep, I think I just sent that to you a while back,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
Maybe today, dude. I sent you that one, and it's
like 18 to 24, or whatever age group she gave. It was that young group.
18 to 24, and they're stupid. I mean, they need
stupid.
dorm assistance and whatever it is, So
you're smart enough to know who needs to be running the country. You know what I mean?
yes,
But,
absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You could let all of them listen to that. They don't care.
No.
Because Trump is evil and whatever else they throw at him. So
Yeah.
it's something, man. But anyway, yeah, crazy day. Glad nothing came of it, as far as
Me too.
asshole trying to take out Trump. If indeed
Yes.
that was his plan, which I don't see what else he'd have been doing out there. I doubt he was just that, hell bent to shoot a golf ball. I mean, there was something, he was up to something, you know what I mean?
Feel he was gator hunting or something.
That's what I would say. I was trying to protect them, man. There's gators in those ponds. I was trying to protect
pythons or whatever it might be. Yeah.
You ought to be a lawyer, dude, because that's the argument I'd go with.
Right.
So
Yeah.
let me get this right. You were out there trying to protect Trump from gators, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, Florida, right? Alligator, swamp. Yeah. I mean, anything's possible, brother.
You hit it on the head, dude. You hit it on the head. That's the argument I'd go with. But
It's
anyway,
crazy.
well, it was
Yes,
good
sir.
talking to you, man.
Absolutely. Let's do it again. And I'm always around. And yeah, let's do it, man.
Get back on it soon. BSing with the guys. We appreciate y'all watching. Have a good one.
Like it, share it, and just let everybody know. And we're here. Thank you,
No trouble.
Shane. I appreciate you, brother.
Straight from the swamps of southern Louisiana,